Evening all and welcome along to GT Sports Season 12 Division 1. Last week we had round 3 at Brands Hatch Indy and this week of course round 4 at the Red Bull Ring Short. I am once again joined by Hatfield
Super B team.
and just us for tonight. So I think it's back to the roots of Super B team.
Yeah, that's right. Aiden can't make tonight. Pretty sure Cole's on his back, so don't know what you can do about that. You got to listen to the boss.
Absolutely. Boss always comes first. Of course, in the Mazda Roadster touring car tonight for 47 laps of the Red Bull Ring Short. Looking forward to that one.
Big thanks to Ignition Controls for sponsoring this season. Looking forward to it. Can't wait to see what it throws up. Track limits will be interesting at this one. Lots of runoff, so let's hope they can keep it clean. Bad news going into it, actually. We did miss Keaton and Mighty Murph last week. They did not participate, and we have had confirmation during the week that they have pulled out of this season. So it's disappointing to lose another couple of drivers, especially the championship leader. I think this would have been, if he had been able to win it, the 12th GT Sport season championship in a row for Division 1 for Keaton. But probably not going to be now, having only 2 races under his belt out of the 7. Luckily, though, to fill the field up, we've had 2 of the Alpha Racing Team guys jump in, Byron Phillips and Codes, if I got that correct.
I believe that's right from my end. And of course, with Keaton out, it'll be the man on screen right now, Matt Simmons, Mint Matt, who is expected to hopefully take his first GT Sport title. And it's for someone of his caliber, you'd think he would have grabbed it a lot sooner. But when you've got competition like Keaton ahead of you, it's no easy feat.
Yeah, it's like if you threw him into Formula One and asked him to beat Lewis Hamilton. Not going to happen. But looking at the points, he's not the one that is second on the table. That lies with Captain Risky. However, that's only by 1 point to Mint Matt, and there is the drop round to consider. Mint, of course, missing the first round. So looking at the points with the drop round calculated, he's in the best spot. And in 4th place, you've got Viper Z, which is aka you,
Hello.
followed by Norm, Razor, Motors, and Apex. A few other names down the table there, but not much hope for them in the championship, unfortunately, myself included.
There you go. Looking like a really tight field and only 3 rounds to go after tonight. So we're really excited to see how this championship closes up. I mean, Caden's been I think he's been the one who's really stretched out the points gap in the past. So I think this will be probably the tightest Div1 field we've ever had.
Well, 10 points between 2nd and 5th currently.
Really close stuff. And of course, tonight we go to the 6 corner long Red Bull Ring Short. For those of you who don't know, there is a short right-hand corner just between turns 1 and 2 that we take, and it makes for a really short 55-second lap. That's a lot of fun in these roadsters.
Don't know if I can agree with you there, but it'll be fun to watch.
A lot of fun to watch. Lots of chaos. Of course, as Hatfield said, track limits to watch exits of probably every single corner you can think of, as you'll see. But
Mainly
I think
turn 1 and the last 2 is what you're going to be looking for.
pretty much. I think we'll roll in now and we'll have a look at how the grid added up and go into racing at Red Bull Ring Short for round 4 of Ignition Controls RaceOnOz Season 12.
Welcome to the grid at Red Bull Ring Short. We've got Mint Matt on pole, Viper filling up the front row, Twitchy and XL on row 2. 5 red lights. And they're away. Good jump there by Norm. Bit of wheel spin from Twitchy. Maybe didn't put traction on for the start. They file into turn 1.
No traction control from Twitchy at the start. He's dropped all the way down to 6. Terrible start for the rookie, and Midbat leads into turn 1 with Viper behind him.
Yes, managed to keep that position and not let Viper through the door there. We got almost 4 wide in the background.
Twitchy's getting
Phillips
full into his open.
making a
Codes are on the
big
outside.
lunge. Codes drops the wheel in the grass but holds it together.
These guys are playing for keeps, and the Art Boys banging
Shoot,
wheels.
Alpha Boys. Motors slicing in there. Oh, very well done to keep that off the sand. Everyone getting through, no spins. A lot of hard work to make a pass stick here.
Absolutely, and the first lap's often the best place to do that, as Viper's will know. Mid-Matt, no easy man to
Excel
pass.
really sideways there at the last turn.
He likes tipping it in. Look at the gap these top three have made already.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be a bit tricky there for Risky to catch up.
He will not
Put
be
his
happy
head
with
down.
that at all. Of course, see
Big
what
trainer
these two...
cars here. That's where you got to watch there. The running wide at turn 1. It's going to happen from time to time. Just try to keep it under wraps. There's Codes making move on Twitchy down the inside.
See if we can get it done. Turn 2, probably the best place for an overtake this far.
Well, you've got to watch. Twitchy wants to hold the inside for the left-hander.
And he can't quite get it
Can't
done.
quite get
He's
it.
vulnerable to motors now. Oh, is he going to lose 2? Out in the gravel.
Oh,
Ooh.
that'll do it. Motors will
been
definitely get ahead
mugged.
there. Now Apex and Phillips.
Not happy.
Twitchy not happy. Either that or he's just saying thank you.
Oh, and Apex
Don't know
sends
why
one
you
as
would.
well.
Oh,
Contact
Thought
there.
it all contact. Twitchy
Oh,
out wide.
Twitchy.
Oh.
What a save. And Phillips is going to get him as well. Oh, Twitchy. He has
So
gone
not
from
a-
3rd to 11th in the space of 2 laps. This has been
Not
a
a good
terrible
start by one
start.
of the debutantes. But I guess welcome to RaceOnOz Division 1. I think that's
Absolutely.
Codes up ahead there, going for the inside. Twitchy having a look as well.
Oh,
You don't want to cut that much.
absolutely not. Motors as well, showing us just how much it can extend to that first corner, and that is not what we want to see here.
Codes losing out there, but keeping Motors at bay. Not quite able to get Razor though.
Razor's just made a bit of a calm start, staying at 6th for now.
Yeah, Razor has his hot and his cold days. I'm not sure which one it will be today.
Well, if he keeps the tyres cool, it might be one of his hot days, but who knows. And XL's managed to get the move done on Viper at some point.
Yeah, that was very wide there. I wasn't sure if he was past the ripple strip, but hard to tell. Viper now in the slipstream. What'll he do coming into turn 1?
See if he just might pull out and make a move. Just being a
No,
little
staying
more
stationary.
cautious.
There's obviously two ways you can look at it. Oh, XL gets all out of shape on the sausage curb. It doesn't. The car does not like it there. Very unsettling. Who's that? One of the art boys. Oh,
That's
pushing.
Codes, yep.
Gets the move done on Norm.
And it looks like Razor's actually dropped a spot as well. He was 6th before, and now we've
Down
got
to
Codes and
7th.
Norm.
Alpha boys making a name for themselves early.
Yeah, great start for them. Codes, of course, another debutant in the series, so welcome along to him, one of the regulars in FIA Top Split. Really good to have him along. Was he's running a little wide there. Norm follows him out.
Well, of course, that green and white striped area does ripple. It is classified as ripple strip.
Absolutely, and look at the pace Mintmat's already setting. That is absolutely rapid from our pole setup.
Yeah, that's a massive gap. I think the guys behind just made a few errors, seeing as that XL was in second.
Oh, yep, look at them here.
Again, unsettled on that sausage curve.
Nose to tail, and I can't help but notice Risky has caught them all too easily. I mean, we were saying before that Risky would be really pissed off with his start and might not be able to claw back the gap to Viper and XL, but it's just been made all too easy for him.
Driving a little bit angry, maybe?
Oh, I think he just wanted to get back into that slipstream, but driving angry might not be a bad thing in these cars.
Maybe not too angry, just a little bit.
Just a little.
XL going defensive.
Oh, letting Viper go maybe?
Let both of them go.
And Viper's
Oof.
taking the
Yeah.
the express route.
Yeah, that's the Austrian route. I don't think they appreciate you driving on their flag.
No, a few tyre tracks on it now.
Giving Risky a run there. Having a
He'll
look.
have dive, surely. Risky well alongside now. Should be just an easy out-braking manoeuvre, and Viper makes it easy for him. And XL gives him a tap for his money too. Look at this. Oh. I don't think Viper really wanted to be out there.
No, I don't think anyone wants to be out there.
No.
It's not exactly the most grippy surface.
Of course, these three are good friends, probably just wanting to try get on with their race and see who's the quickest out of them.
I don't agree with the friends part. They hate each other with a passion.
Maybe not the friends bit. But yeah, of course, if we find the best driver at this point, it's really good just to get them at the front of the train and follow,
Try and
save the
catch
fuel,
Mint.
catch him in. Although I think we can say Mint's probably signed his check already and said thank you.
Long
47 laps. Yep. Of course, without Keaton's challenge.
A lot less pressure.
Yeah. Well,
Sort of take it easy.
we'll leave Matt to do his thing out the front there and congratulate him a little later. And we'll check in with Risky in second.
Risky's already gapped Viper.
Yeah. Viper just not looking comfortable in this early stage of this race. XL has really not left his bumper at all.
And then we've got Codes in the background.
Codes has been really fiery in the opening laps. Maybe you can just get to the back of XL and Viper here. I mean, a podium is not off the cards for the ART, mate.
As we head back a little bit more, Norm, Razor, Twitchy, all sort of maintaining position.
Yeah, it's been a good start, of course. Twitchy is making some ground up. Of course, he was our third place driver in qualifying. And he's dropped, was it all the way back to 11th, I believe? And back
Yeah,
up to
so he's
8th
made
now.
his way back a bit more. Phillips, though, all over the back of him. And
Hasn't
Apex trying to stay in the slipstream as well.
Hasn't set a 56 yet as Twitchy, which I feel like is probably the benchmark for a good time. But there's still a lot of time to come from him as he just track extends quietly at turn 5.
Possibly struggling with race pace.
Oh, big lose from Twitchy.
If Phillips was any closer, he might have sent him around then.
I don't think that's out of the question still. Phillips is really going to want to get this move done quickly.
We'll have to see what he does here at turn 1.
Of course, if he can get the run out of here, moves on to go to turn 2, and he pulls out early.
Making the move.
Twitchy defends.
I think he's already got the overlap.
Yep. Dive down the inside.
Gets it done.
Great driving
With
there
that
from
corner
both.
being more of a U-turn than anything else.
Yeah.
If you can get down the inside, you've got a lot of road to get the overlap completed.
Absolutely. You can really chuck it in quite deep and almost V the corner off just to make sure you get that run going into turn 3.
Apex hoping these two ahead will keep battling so that he can have a go.
Apex has been pretty unlucky so far this season. I mean, we've seen, I should say, great pace from him, but he just hasn't gotten the result he's probably wanted.
Yeah, well, round 1 didn't help. He got taken out by a mistake from another driver.
Who was that other driver, actually?
I think it was one of our drivers that's already withdrawn from this season.
Oh,
We
it was
won't
the
name
driver
him.
who got the penalties, of course. No, I remember him now. Yep. That's alright. Phillips, oh,
Very wide. That's definitely not the racing line.
no.
Not sure
Twitchy's
if
just
contact has
closed up a
caused
little
that
bit now.
in the rear or a mistake on the curbs.
Yeah, we'll reserve a bit of judgment, but Twitchy's really on him now.
Bit of a baptism of fire for Phillips, joining mid-season. Cross back to Risky here. Vipers close back up again.
Yeah, Risky with a few 57s there, lap 5 and 6, as XL running wide in the background.
Very difficult to be consistent. A lot of these times sort of fluctuating within half a second of each other.
56.4 there,
That may
not
not
better.
seem like much, but it's a very short track.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys are really going to be hoping to keep their times tight and tidy, as XL runs
very
wide
wide,
again.
yeah.
It's less than ideal. I mean, when you've got codes in your mirrors, you do not want to be running wide like that.
It's definitely hurting him, he's dropping back.
Yeah, maybe just not quite the pace of the second and third place drivers right now.
We're not at this moment in time. He certainly had it before, he was staying with them quite nicely.
Yeah, I think maybe these two have just sorted their stuff out. I mean, Risky seems to be, whilst not particularly consistent, I think he's comfortable in the front at the moment, and Viper's giving him a bit of grief, but it doesn't seem awful right now, and I'm eating my words because Viper is all over him.
Interesting to see now. Is he going to make a move for it, or just push him along? If they fight too hard, XL will get back on them again, and the last thing Viper needs is 2-on-1.
Big lift and coast there from Viper, just thinking the long game here and fuel conservation.
Well, yeah, well, if you can save enough fuel, you can make the pass in the pits.
Absolutely, and we'll just check the fuel number of Risky actually, and it's already a lot worse than Viper. You can see in the mirror having a look at turn 2.
Well, there you have it. If this keeps up, by the time the pit stops happen, Viper will be in second place.
So a lot of race to go. 11 laps completed now, and 10 I should say, on our 11th.
So they're on most of these guys are on the soft tyre. The medium is a mandatory compound. With the way it's looking, we'll probably see most drivers do just the 1 lap on the mediums to get it out of the way, and 2 stints on the soft tyre. So with these guys starting on the soft, when they pit at about half distance, they'll either throw another set of softs on until the second last lap, or they'll do their medium lap in the middle. So interesting to see what will happen there. Do you go for track position? Do you just get it out of the way? Yet to be seen.
It's a bit of a question that a lot of these guys have been asking, and there's a fair few answers, I think you could say. But the medium in the middle is definitely what's looking likely for a lot of these middle runners. I think maybe if you're mid-mat, you'd run the medium at the end just to preserve a bit of track position, as these two going out at the moment. Razor out sideways in turn 3.
Not
Woof.
liking the wear on his tyres.
Not at all. I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but he's clearly feeling it. As I was saying, fuel's not really going to make it either for these cars, so these guys will really have to have an eye on their fuel gauge and just be a little bit delicate on the throttle pedal to make it home.
Norm all over Razor, but can't quite find a place to get the pass done.
I think this track, despite being really short and sweet, it's not giving you a lot of places to overtake or even have a sniff at the overtake, as these guys have really closed up here.
Really, you need to get a very good run on the guy ahead coming out of one of these corners. Probably you want to get a good run out of either the last or the first to try and get down the inside.
I think they're definitely your best opportunities, as Viper's under pressure from XL now. This is not what he wants. He was all over Risky a second ago, and now he's got another BHR man in his mirrors.
And Codes is on XL as well. XL getting unsettled there.
This is heating up. These four do not want to play around.
Risky doesn't want to be a part of it. See you later.
No, he's checked out.
They all keep it well there.
Just wonder what's going to happen.
Turn.
Of course, without the overtaking opportunities you might have at a standard track, people have really got to send them here at the first and second
very
corners.
wide in the background there. I think that was Razor running out of room.
It's given Norm the opportunity.
Yep, Norm's taken the position already.
Down the inside will go Norm at turn 1. Razor would just let it happen. In the background as well, Twitchy and Apex. Oh, Motors running wide in the background.
Oh, very wide.
Well wide for Motors. Brian.
Apex still on the back of Twitchy there.
That's the wrong button. That is right. Brian back in 12th. Now, was he one of our medium runners, Hatfield?
He did start on the mediums. I believe the 3 medium starters were Groover, Brian and Hatfield.
There you go.
So they did one lap, the first lap on mediums, and jumped straight to the pits. Get that out of the way. Brian, the best of those runners.
I think that'll be a huge gain for you guys there, of course. Getting out of the mediums.
Motors wide, very wide again.
Not enjoying this car right now, is he? You just can't keep it on the road. Brian's got a huge run.
He's ruined his exit. Brian's got the run. You'd think he'd have to get it done here. Already alongside as they cross the start-finish line.
And down the inside goes Brian. Another position. Oh, but Motors around the outside maybe, and is not pulling up at that corner.
He's given that one away.
Motors
tried too hard
not
to hold
enjoying the car right now. Yeah, these three are bunched up once again.
Caught up to Risky again.
But where's Codes gone?
Codes has fallen off the back. Something may have happened there.
Maybe. Well, we've got a little train going here between these boys.
I'm almost willing Risky to get out of the way.
I think at this stage he really wants him to get out of the way. I think Viper maybe just thinking he's the faster driver at this stage, wanting to move Risky on and say, hey, look, I'm going to lead this train. Let me push on. You guys save some fuel.
If I know Viper, he thinks he's the fastest driver in every situation. But if you're going to be a good driver, that's one of the thoughts you have to have.
I think that's very right. I think every good driver, there you go, Viper's just flashing him on here.
I think he's saying, good job, keep it up.
Yep, Risky, you are a fantastic driver. Keep on holding me up, please.
Yep, and if anyone can't understand sarcasm, now's the time to listen.
Yep, read up on it, have a listen. And there you go,
more flashing.
Oh,
they're
all flashing. All three of them.
They're all very upset.
Now, I can't help but think this is a little bit orchestrated.
Sending signals to the non-existent crowd.
Yeah.
Lap 16 about to begin lap 17. Pit stops we're thinking will come around lap 23, 24.
That's when our pit window opens. Phillips, as they jump these two, or is he sort of falling back into their clutches now?
I think he's falling back.
I cannot tell for the life of me. I am lost.
Actually, it's hard to tell. Well, with a move, yeah, I think they need to keep it on the track a bit more.
He's
He actually
there.
was behind the two of them, so while we've been watching the battle up front, he's taken both those positions. But I'm unsure if Norm's trying to fight back.
Yeah, I think Norm will have a higher position maybe in mind for him rather than
Excel's
7th.
fallen back into Codes there.
Yeah, Codes has got a bit of company now, and that air gap forming between Viper and XL now.
Excel needs that slipstream to hold Codes off.
And of course, as we've mentioned before, the slipstream model has been decreased, so it's an 8/10 gap now that jurisdicts your slipstream. And these cars do not give off a lot of it, so you've got to be right in that slipstream for anything to
Excel
matter.
goes defensive into turn 1. Codes having a look around the outside. Excel nicely over the apex.
Oh, Codes keeps it on track. Is he going to get this done?
He's ahead, but
Oh, Codes.
he has got it done.
Brilliant
well done,
move.
good pass.
Round the outside of turn 1. It's not every day you see that. That's a fantastic move.
Well, I don't know if we've seen it today. At least not that well.
No, that's wow. Woof.
XL slotting right back in. Maybe he'll try the same. Oh no, he's going. Oh, he's having a look. Codes covering in defence.
And
If
Codes
he's
will
going to go around
squeeze
the
in here.
outside, it'll have to be here.
And Codes is showing him the textbook moves right now. Of course, the youngest driver in the field is Codes, and he's absolutely sticking it to some
I
of our
believe
season
he's
regulars.
6 years old.
Yeah, just turned 5. Amazing.
Oh, just turned 5. Wow. So it's a big year for Codes.
Absolutely.
COVID, kindergarten, and Ruse Div1.
There's something special in the future of this young lad, and kindergarten is it.
Yeah, well, he's just been learning addition so that he can sort out his fuel number.
It's subtraction that I really get the issues with personally. But good luck with addition Codes. It will be tricky for the first bit, but you'll be able to add it all up one day.
Viper still all over Risky, but not making a move.
No, he's too busy thinking of his horrible dad jokes in the commentary.
One day you'll be a father to go along with those dad jokes.
I hope not.
You
Let's
probably
not get
already
into
are
that.
a father.
Let's just look at the battle for second
You
gear.
don't even know it.
Risky's having a huge send into the second last corner, and Viper's really going to be looking at going to turn 1 now. Starting the 20th lap of this race.
XL falling a little bit off Codes there. So
Yeah.
if the fight back not going to plan,
Maybe he's just succumbed to Codes' amazing racecraft, and he's just sat there applauding, perhaps.
well, I think he's better off keeping his hands on the wheel. We watch Motors now, looking at the back of Groover.
He slipped even further as Motors, and look at that front left. That is absolutely decimated from Motors.
That is a fried front left tyre. Groover, of course, was one of the medium starters, so he's made a pit stop.
Oh, Motors. That is, once again, not the line you want to be taking at turn 1 of Red Bull Ring.
Really, really struggling.
He's not happy. Of course, the dirty air off Groover probably not helping him here, but I just can't help but think Motors is not enjoying himself tonight.
Has anyone else worn the tyres that bad?
Not from the looks of things, but we'll just zone in this battle now for 6th. Phillips and Norm.
Yep, Norm caught back onto the rear of Phillips.
Oh.
Phillips getting a little unsettled coming out of the final turn. He's going to move over to try and be defensive. Norm staying right with him.
Norm wants it. He's going to go straight down for the inside. Dives
No,
to
he
the
dives to
outside.
the outside.
Oh, and Phillips just holds him up. Runs
Can't
it wide
quite get
though.
the overlap.
Ooh.
Well, Norm unlucky not to get it. Looked like Phillips got advantage from running wide, then he extended a little bit.
I think we'll leave that one for the stewards there, and Norm's going to really focus on getting the move done somewhere along this lap. Just
Well, I
tucked
think
up
if
the
I
rear
was
wing.
Norm at this stage, I'd probably line it up for turn 1 and just aim to run all the way to the edge of the track.
Probably a best case
hoping or
scenario.
expecting Phillips to run wide and try and take it down the inside.
Viper
These
just clobbered the sausage
two-car
curb.
battles have almost joined together. Codes now all over the back of Viper.
These four are a bit like a slinky right now. They're just sort of stretching out, coming back in when they want to.
Codes not looking for the inside.
We've got Razor now.
jumps in the pits. So first of the soft starters to jump in quite
Apparently
early on lap 21.
21 laps on the softs. That's probably not exactly what he wanted to get out of those.
No, he wouldn't be happy with the wear. It's the only reason I can think of the pits so early.
I mean, we were just thinking about Motors' wear on his front left. I think maybe Razor's is probably the only one to rival
So
that.
there you go. Razor on the medium. Going for the 1 lap stint in the middle. Maybe he might extend that a little bit if he's not getting the depth out of the softs that he needs.
Oh, Viper has a sniff down the inside.
Not sure if he was having a look there or default. No, okay, there you go. That's why he is pitting, and looked like XL behind also jumping in.
Yep, Viper, and in comes XL. Huge save from Viper. 9 more litres than XL.
Wow. Yep, he'll definitely get out ahead of him there.
You'd think so. And of course, the suspected strategy for these two will be that they'll take the medium tyre in the middle, 1 lap stint, and they'll run to the end on the soft after this.
Well, they've been left alone now, Risky and Codes.
These two will really be hoping to have a really good in lap now. I mean, if they didn't respond now, they will be undercut by miles. So it'll be in this lap for Risky and probably Codes as well.
Oh, what was that? A little, yeah, he's got the slide on. He's losing a lot of time there. You see the gap's already extended.
Absolutely. Norm hasn't quite been able to get past Phillips yet. These two doing alright in their fuel and tyres. Phillips is really chewing fuel the fuel compared to Norm.
So Norm will probably take him in the pit stop as well. So there you go, Viper's rejoined in 6th with XL in 7th.
Look at that fuel
and
Viper
there's
still has.
Apex just in the background there. There you go, Risky and Codes both in, as you said.
As expected.
They've used a lot more fuel there. XL had 21 litres left, and then in 1 extra lap, Risky had 19. There's 19 there. Codes 17. There you go, Viper and XL in again to get off that medium tyre and jump back onto the softs. So their mandatory medium stint or lap is done.
This will be important here. We'll just jump on board for Risky for this lap on the only lap we'll see him have on mediums now. This will be a really important one for him. If he can nail this, might just be able to come out ahead of Viper.
So we've got Matt there in first with Phillips and Norm having a battle still. Nose to tail in ahead, just ahead there, you can see.
And Norm all over him. Phillips probably in this lap, you'd think.
Norm just poking the nose to have a little look. Can't
Phillips
see
wants
much.
none of it. Ooh,
And they're both in.
bits.
Well, that's a big cut from Lucky there not to impede Norm.
Oh, and he runs out wide. Using a lot of the track is Phillips.
Most of his fuel.
Risky in as
and
well.
Risky's in on that mediums.
Where have we got Vipers at? There he is, coming into the penultimate corner now. On the soft tyres, he'll be running to the end as Viper. Field to the finish.
He won't want to get stuck behind Hatfield.
No, you'd think this would be...
And he won't have to worry about that. Twitchy and Hatfield both in.
Stars are aligning for the satellite racing driver. XL really dropped off the back of him, actually.
Well, he did
really
have all that extra fuel to put in.
Oh, there's Captain Risky. And Viper sweeps around the outside of turn 1, and he's going to comfortably have this done.
Easily gets him. Now he just has to maintain that gap. There's no slipstream to worry about behind. Just got to keep it clean, no mistakes.
Nice and smooth, thank you. We'll check in again with mid-map.
We saw him.
Well, outside
getting a little bit wide, yeah. Yep. There's Risky and XL back together again. Mint coming around to lap them, but he will have to make a stop.
Phillips and
Norm.
Oh, look at the fuel from Norm. Great save there from him. Compared to Phillips, at least.
Yes, and Twitchy as well. So they've run their medium tyre lap.
Yep. Mid-map probably in this lap with his fuel load. No, continues for one more.
He's going to do a Keaton. That's when you're out in front by so much that you just pit whenever you feel like it.
Absolutely. A few guys to have an eye on here. Of course, we've got Apex and Brian here in second and third. Both of them, I believe... Did they both start on the medium?
No, Apex did not start on the mediums.
Interesting. This would be a strategy free kick to Brian, you'd think, then.
Well, because Apex can have to make that extra stop.
Oh,
so Brian's done very well to get to where he is.
Yeah, you'd think maybe Apex is just holding him up a little bit now. Brian...
See, so
oh, wow.
Brian and then Groover was the other medium starter, and then Hatfield, who's out of the picture.
So most cars have already run out of fuel, but Brian, still with just under a quarter of the tank to go, this has been an amazing fuel save for Brian. Of course, one of the guys
he's known for it.
Exactly, yep. Week in, week out, we always commend his strategy ability, but this is looking good for him.
A little bit of flash of the hazards there.
Oh, as we catch
Groover running wide.
Codes as well, following him
and
out
our
there.
leader is in with a litre of fuel left.
Oh, finest of margins for mid-lap.
Look at those laps on the right there, though. My goodness. 56 is
that's lovely.
The highest being a mid. That's crazy pace.
Lovely stuff from mid-map, and he should come out of the pits here with a comfortable lead intact.
Enough time to So much fuel's got to go in the car. He's got enough time to scratch himself and have a drink.
I think you could go have a pet of Hank as well. Go see the kids, if he had any.
That he knows of.
Oh,
So
yeah,
the medium lap now for Matt. Brian in the lead, first time in this race.
don't think it'll be
Actually,
for long.
Could it be first time this season?
Very possible actually. Maybe the first time a satellite racing driver has led the race.
But like you said, not for long.
No.
I think that's due to the timing of when cars go into the pits.
It was, yes. Silly
Apex
game.
also in with 1 leader.
And
Big
looks
gaps
like
there between Risky and XL.
we say that, but I have a feeling Risky's pulling away from XL a fair bit as XL's running wide at turn 1 again. Risky may just be reeling in Vipers at a fair bit.
If we can cross to the in-car cam for Risky, we can see what size Viper is there.
He seems to be small.
Small Viper.
Small Viper.
Mint
It's a bit mad.
in again to get rid of that medium tyre. Put the softs on to get to the end.
And now, this is definitely Brian in the lead.
Groover
Wow.
in. Put the softs on. Codes coming around. Mint might beat him out, as he does.
We'll just slot out in P2 here behind Brian, ahead of Codes.
Code's doing well to be up in third, but does he have another stop to make?
Yeah, you'd
He
think
might
so.
be running the mediums at the end.
I don't think Codes has run the mediums yet. You can see clearly from his tyre life that he's put the softs on again. And I think if he's had time to put the mediums on in the middle of that, that's a mental pit stop from the Alpha Racing Team crew.
That'd be a rolling pit stop.
Yeah,
Taking the tyres off and putting them on while the car's still moving.
I don't know for the life of me how they managed to do that, but well done to
Magic.
them. They're clearly learning something we can't.
This is why virtual racing is so great, because you can just do things like that.
Absolutely, and speaking of virtual racing, on the front
Physics,
and the
schmizzics.
side, well that too, but new sponsor for satellite racing this weekend is Virtual Racing School. I think they're a pretty big name, well not think, I know, a pretty big name in the iRacing community. If you're interested in their product, which is literally a virtual racing school, go to virtualracingschool.com for all your iRacing needs. I should be a salesman.
So what do they do there?
They actually offer a tutoring system as such for getting better in iRacing. So these guys, as Viper's cutting it close on the inside, he might need some virtual racing skill himself. It's just offering a tutoring mechanism for iRacing of these guys who really take the sim racing seriously and just want to excel to the next level.
So
And
you give them a slice of your hard-earned, and they tell you to get good, and on you go.
Pretty much. I mean, if you ever wanted Keaton to look you in the eyes and say, get good, this is what you're paying for. So, there you have it.
You mean the Keaton equivalent, I assume? I don't think
Yeah,
it works
yeah.
for them.
No, the Keaton of VRS, I guess you could say. Some absolute top quality instructors too. Some of the best guys in iRacing at the moment teaching there. So, cannot recommend it highly enough if you're in the iRacing world.
Well, I think if we have a look through the field, I think I'm still in last at this point, so I could probably use some of that.
Oh, you are, and you're running wide as well. So, yep, if you're ever interested in iRacing hat, feel free to hit them up.
I don't think GT Sport would survive without me, so I best just keep to myself in 13th.
I think you're right there. Go
Beautiful
backwards through
fastest
the
lap
field.
there on
actually.
lap 26, if you have a look. 56.5.
56.5. That's some
actually,
speed.
That's amazing. I must have cut every corner.
Brian now, our race leader, coming into the pit lane after 31 laps on a tank.
Jeez.
Wow. That's a fuel save and a half.
Well, Mint will get him back, but where will Brian come out?
Look, after a fuel save like that, he's not going to have to put in much in the tank, so I'm thinking...
Code still has another stop to go.
Oh, top 7? Top 7, I reckon?
Yeah, I'd pay that.
We'll see where Phillips is right now.
A few guys on the straight though, and his fuel is done.
Oh, he's going to be well above him. We'll see Apex now. Oh, that's XL, not Apex. Oh, wow, Brian in the top 5.
That strategy's really paid off.
That was unexpected.
Plenty of fuel save.
What a move from Brian. I mean, look at the state of his tyres compared to Risky's too.
Well, starting on the medium's given him that sort of free air that he needed to just put down lap times. Whereas these guys up the front, they're all nose to tail, all fighting. And looks like it's slowed them up. even with the free air, Brian's just been able to conserve more fuel than all of them.
Absolutely. And I think the question now remains, how far can Brian get with this strategy?
Well, I think that depends on how mistake-prone is Risky.
I think it depends on what colour the sky is on the day. Anyone who knows Risky knows
Codes
that
getting out of shape on that sausage curb.
Risky can easily do just what Codes did, or he can set a lap as fast as Mint Matt on any given day. It's an absolute lottery as to what you're getting with Captain Risky. And
Yeah, well, I think Risky's hormones really reflect his driving. They're all
yeah,
over the place.
yeah, you could say that. I mean, he's a growing young man, so I think we'll cut him some slack on that one. Speaking of the growing young man, he's definitely going to be under pressure from Brian soon enough. He is rapid.
I think give it a few laps, he'll be all over the back of him.
Absolutely. Someone who's really going to feel like he's lost out this race is XLX190. He's got pressure now from Apex, someone he hasn't seen all race.
Apex having a good second half to the race.
Look at those times from XL. Low 57s. That's not the consistency we're used to seeing from him.
Pace, that's not what you want.
No. And Apex, on the other hand, high 56s.
Apex has Phillips for company, though. Phillips got a better run there.
Apex just has a look at his mirror after a 56.4.
Phillips probably going to look for the dive into turn 2. He's not there yet for an attempt into turn 1.
We're using all the
He's
track
getting a really good run there. He's going to go for it. Oh, Apex moving late to cover.
Oh, there's contact.
Oh, contact.
Phillips in really deep there, gets the move done. Apex absolutely defenseless. He's tried, but Phillips really wanted that 7th place apparently.
Well, Apex started to move to go defensive, but it was too late. Phillips had that overlap.
I think maybe we'll call this, that was a bit cheeky of Phillips, but nothing lawfully wrong with it.
Oh, well, look, if the guy behind makes the move and gets overlap before you can close the door,
by all means.
There's not much to be done, is there?
Exactly. Norm will be disappointed too, actually. He's dropped well off Phillips. He was battling him in the early stages, and now he seems to be just hanging on in the top 10. And
This is the point you'd be asking your race engineers what went wrong, if you had race engineers.
I think they may be pulling a Vettel here. Two people who, of course, Razor was actually last round's race 2 winner, and now he's back in 10th. So
Razor really struggling as he runs wide.
We've
really
seen a lot of guys actually running wide there at turn 1.
I'm not sure what they can do to remedy that. They either change it to sand or bring the wall right up.
Oh, I'd probably say sand. I think you put a wall up there and you're risking cars bouncing off back onto the racing line. So
yeah, that's true. Sand would be good.
Exactly. I'd like to see sand out there, but it's just a change that we'll have to see
especially
if they
in a virtual racing capacity. I think everything could just be sand.
Yeah, sand everywhere.
Even the track, sand. We'll drive tractors. I don't care.
Speaking of
Brian, looking down the inside of Risky here. Has he got a good enough run out of the final turn?
And Brian will send it. Risky trying to hang around the outside. There's contact. Risky runs it a little bit wide. They're still side by side now hanging into turn 2. Brian's just eked ahead. He'll probably have the line going into 2.
Yeah, he got a little bit of a better run. That'll be the position done. Risky will want to come back at him, but with his tyres in the state that they are compared to Brian's, can he do it?
For the edge of this race, this will be Risky waving goodbye to Brian. I think this is Brian now sailing on towards Viper, just seeing if he can get a podium off him.
Well, we've got Mint, Codes, and then a double satellite.
Who's Mint? Oh, it's that. Oh, right. He's 40 seconds in the lead. I see. Oh, that one.
Boring. Next.
Yeah, next.
Codes.
Now, is he
to make that stop?
He will. Mediums. He will be peeling for mediums, won't he? This is a bit of an unknown. I don't think he's taken the mediums, but.
What's a pit stop worth?
Oh, depends how much you're willing to pay.
Yeah, great answer. Thanks for that.
No problems.
Thinking he'll fall out probably behind XL. Or into the middle of that XL Phillips battle.
Somewhere around Phillips, you'd think he'd be right. He was a little bit ahead of Phillips before, but
still ahead of Apex.
Right out sideways, and probably not the best way to be pulling ahead of his teammate Brian.
Maybe he'll just team orders and let him through.
Oh, is Viper going to do that though?
No, I think team orders will go the other way. Viper's beating Brian in the championship, so Risky not staying with him at all.
No, he's just plummeting time as he runs a little wide there at turn 5 again.
just have to consolidate fifth and hope that Phillips doesn't catch him in the last 10 laps.
You know, I really think Risky's starting to get frustrated with this race. I mean, it slipped away from him, and I think from what could have been a P2 finish, he's just watching it all get away from him, and it's starting to get to him.
Frustrated young man.
Yep, absolutely. Someone who's probably slightly less frustrated, but definitely track extending right now, is B. Phillips.
Jeez, I think we just saw Risky, Phillips and XL all run wide there.
Yeah, with a bit of telekinesis going here as Phillips run wide again through 2. I think we should sign him up.
That's within track limits there.
Oh yeah, that was okay, but I think we should start signing him up for Apex Hunters. Should be able to find one that way.
Speaking of Apex, he's still on the back of XL here.
And maybe going to get a move done soonish. XL, another man who'll be bitterly disappointed with his race so far.
Oh, little look. Just to say, hey, I'm here.
Hello. Oh.
Very tricky to get the car through that last turn. With the bump, you've got that sausage curve on the inside, and then it's very bump on the outside. So trying to get the power down early to get a run, you do risk the rear spitting out on you.
It's definitely a car that requires a fair bit of technique to drive. It's something that if you power it on early, it will understeer and you will cop a track limit penalty with it.
Bit of finesse needed.
Absolutely, which is why you see guys like Mintman who are absolutely dominating right now, and that's why Keaton was untouchable when he wasn't the season.
I think Keaton just needs a bit of a break. 11 straight season championships. Not missing a race very often.
Absolutely. He's been one of our committed competitors, and of course, after the second place, which we played homage to last weekend, it was second place in the Manufacturer Series for him. I think it's a well-deserved break.
Who's been beating him in the FIA?
It's actually been not Razor, as he's running wide in turn 5 for Red Bull Ring.
Not Razor.
It's been Nick McCosey, which is a common name in the GT community.
Well, if you're going to lose to someone in FIA,
yeah,
that's the name to lose to.
I think it might as well be him. Cody Nikola Lukovsky, of course, one of the best GT drivers in the world, I think it's safe to say. And someone who has only just eclipsed our man Keaton McDonald over the season.
So are they fighting a lot, or is he just too good?
I think it's been a fight. For anyone who watched the final round of the Manufacturer Series, the Top 16 Superstars event, we would have seen Keaton and Cody go head-to-head for the final few laps, and it was actually our man Keaton who came out on top. It was really unfortunate that it was past results that jurisdicted it, but it's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Oh, I think Keaton would still be happy to take the top step over Nick McCosey.
Absolutely, and it wasn't a win for him. It was a win for VLX GTR, so huge congrats to him if he's by some chance watching.
I very much doubt it. I don't think we get any viewers on this. It's just you and me.
No, it is literally us, and maybe that man without thumbs. So if you're watching Man Without Thumbs, please message me with some unclothed photos.
I think on one of our past videos we got a comment. So big thanks to Kane.
Did we?
Shout out to Kane for posting
Extreme
something.
New Zealander, of course, I did see that.
And a big shout out to Grant, who also I know watches the stream and then calls me up and makes fun of me. So it's good to have that.
Oh, Code's just getting out of the way though.
He knows he's got that stop to make. Bit
Viper
of a flash there from the hazards. Viper saying thank you.
Yeah, bit of a kind move from Codes.
Yeah, it's not his fight. He's got one more stop to make. He needs to maximise his lap times, get the best he can, and slipstream from Viper will help.
Absolutely, and it's actually the battle for 5th that's heating up now. Captain Risky
like
is
I said
struggling.
before, he wanted to stay away from Phillips, but he hasn't been able to do it. Phillips
Absolutely
now
not.
clutching onto the back, trying to get into that slipstream. Pulling XL with him, actually, who's extended from Apex.
This might just work in Risky's favour here, because if XL can just get to the back of Phillips, he might be able to launch an attack, and the BHR boys run out into the sunset.
Yep, the sunset for 5th place.
Lovely. Again, I don't think that's how these two imagined their afternoon of racing would go, but...
Well, look, when there's such a field like this, it's really difficult to get a podium.
Really difficult to pass too.
Door closed heavily there. Risky's not letting him have a look at all.
Put it the big block on. Oh, look at XL right on the bumper now for 6th place. Risky.
What can they do?
Lots of wheel work through the final corner. Phillips will get the run.
Up there. Phillips getting the overlap.
Just
Here's
watch
the view from XL's car.
Risky's moving on over on him. He wants him to know he's there. Oh, there's a touch in the braking zone. A touch again at the apex.
Oh, XL's
XL.
going to take him as well.
Will he get to 6th now? And Phillips, he'll be hoping these two fight for a little bit. He might just be able to get out of slipstream quickly.
Just slotting in behind. XL thinks Risky's still the man for the job.
Hopefully he is.
Apex salivating at the thought of these three taking each other out.
He's just dropped back a little bit too. You would have thought Apex would really want to capitalise on that. As Risky's just trying to get the overlap again. There's contact. Oh, these two. Magnets to each other right now.
I'll have to regroup for another lap. Oh, Phillips, big slide.
Sideways action, and this is exactly what Risky wants to see. He wants this 5th position. He wants to be in the top 5.
Oh, they're all over the apex there. They're just looking for the door to be open.
He wants to force it open at this stage, says Captain Risky. Of course, he's 2nd place in the championship, and he doesn't want that to slip any further.
They come through turn 1 again.
Bit of an extend there.
XL, the only one keeping it there within the limits.
These guys really going to have to be careful of track limits. There's a lot of places you can do it, and turn 1 has been common for all of them so far.
Risky falling off a little bit there.
It's not what he wants to be
At
doing.
what point does XL say, let me have a go?
I think right now is he's right up on his arse.
Into the sand as well. They've come together. That's hindered both of them.
It's not ideal. Risky out wide and letting
there you
XL
go. Moving
go.
over. Risky's race is really, really struggling now.
He's not happy, and Brian's gotten past Codes.
So we've got a satellite 2-3.
No wonder if they'll
Code's
stay in
still
this
got
form.
that medium stint to run.
Brian has
He'll
been...
fall into that battle pack behind that we've been looking at prior.
And he's got a bit of fuel to go, so we'll probably have to wait till the final lap just to see where Codes ends up. Those softs are looking a fair bit second hand. These two. Viper out in the gravel there, using every bit of track he can. He does not want to get swept up by Brian this round.
Well, Brian's tyres will be in better condition.
Absolutely, someone whose tyres are probably in better condition. Apex, as he's trying to look down the inside of turn 5 here. Bit of overlap there. And Risky, can he hold it around the outside? Apex, straight onto the apex and straight through for 7th place. Forceful move by Apex.
Move there.
Codes into the pits from 3rd place. Of course, should just be a change from softs to medium, so you think maybe somewhere out around these two? Oh, and actually these two have had a big bump. And we've just lost Hatfield, unfortunately. Codes has rejoined just ahead of Risky here in 7th. Bit of solo commentary for the end of this one, unfortunately. Codes probably in a good position just to hang on to 7th. Risky's not looking comfortable with his tyre life right now, and Codes fresh mediums. Really interesting to see how those two tyres stack up against each other. It's Midmat who starts the final lap now. He'll be a comfortable winner in the ICR machine. Great job to him so far, but it's this battle for 2nd which we've got an eye on right now. Viper followed by Brian. 1 lap to go at the Satellite Racing Boys. Who will top it? Of course, Hatfield now trying to join in late. Got Phillips and XL as well, going for 4th place, final lap. This will be a great debut for Phillips if he can hang on to 4th. XL does not want to give it to him though.
Yeah, XL won't give up that easy.
Welcome back, Hatfield. You finally joined us for the final 20 seconds of action.
Yeah, lost connection there when Apex passed Risky.
Gotta love it.
Congratulations to Mint. Ignition Controls Racing in 1st place. Title sponsor, be happy with that.
Brilliant
Viper
drive.
and Brian. Bit of a satellite form finish here in 2nd and 3rd.
Looks like they'll get it done. Viper just having the margin over Brian in the end, although
I think
a
a few more
brilliant
laps
drive from
Brian would have had him.
That's been a stunning strategy play from him.
Yeah, beautiful. Starting on the mediums and then making the most of it. Very happy. Flashing the lights. Little wiggle of the car.
Oh, XL.
XL very wide. Going for it on the final corner. But it wasn't to be. Big slide over the line. Well done to Phillips to get 4th.
Oh, Risky's
And
out of fuel!
Codes for 6th.
Oh,
wow.
no!
Oh, that just makes a bad race even worse.
Oh, it's salt in the
Gruber,
wounds.
another medium starter coming in 9th there.
Oh,
Disappointing 10th
Razor!
for Apex.
He's walled it! Oh,
Oh, wow.
that's nice of Hatfield. That's nice of Hatfield to let the lunatic finish ahead of him there.
Oh, I think just, don't want to damage the car. Didn't hit a wall or set
Yep.
foot off track all day.
No, I wouldn't
Come
want to
home a
go near
strong
him either.
last.
Yep. Absolutely. Wow, what a race.
That's round 4.
That's round four, I think you could say. I think it was action packed start to finish.
Yes, there was a lot going on. Very tricky with turn 1 limits there, but stewards will look at that through the week. Not sure if results will change. Different drivers, different results. Some guys had good nights, some guys had bad nights, but what are you going to do? Put your head down and get into round 5 next week.
Absolutely, and it's really well done to our podium of Mint Matt, Viperzed, and Brian. Of course, probably a special props to Brian. That was a brilliant strategy play that had him start on the mediums, end up on the podium, only a few tenths behind Viper. Probably my
Well, he's had a
driver of the
rough
day.
season. He'd have a rough season up until this point, so it's good for him to get a good result.
It's definitely what he needed. Probably definitely what Satellite Racing wanted to see. Two drivers on the podium and only their fourth round of competition.
Yeah,
Maybe
well,
a early sniff for the team's championship?
it is heating up, Teams Championship. Gainsmen were in the lead, but they've taken quite a few drivers who have pulled out, so taken a hit points-wise. I think Satellite are the favourites to win it at this stage.
We'll see how it goes. Of course, three more rounds. It's Sardinia B that we go to next week for the enduro. We'll see if we stream that one. Pat? Hour and a
Well, I'd
half.
like to. It'll be a long one. Might have to start a little bit earlier.
See how we go. Of course, we have been your Super B team,
Super B team.
and
Big
we'll see you
thanks to
guys
Ignition
next week.
Controls.
Ignition controls. Yes.